Australian lot feeders now have access to a practical guide to selecting, installing and maintaining on-site automatic weather stations to help manage the impacts of heat load on livestock. Commissioned by Meat and Livestock Australia, the review of automatic weather stations for cattle feedlots was produced by Brisbane-based consulting company Catestone Environmental. It provides a review of automatic weather stations that can measure meteorological parameters important for calculating the heat load index at feedlots.
So the heat load index, or the HLI, is an index that's been developed by lots of research in Australia that puts together all the parameters that you need to understand heat stress, the environmental heat stress. So it looks at your black globe temperature, which is your radiation component and temperature. It uses wind speed and humidity. So those are the key things that it puts together in a fashion to allow you to come up with one number that you can use to say how high the heat stress is for the environmental conditions.
The review contains a good practice guide for automatic weather stations, ranging from site selection through to calibration. An automatic weather station should ideally be located on unwatered short grass or natural earth and not on concrete or asphalt. It should be in an open area, away from trees and any other sources of shade.
Maintaining a weather station is really important because obviously if you're not collecting good information, then you're going to be collecting misinformation. Weather stations should be professionally serviced once a year. Try and do that in the winter when obviously conditions aren't critical. But that, between services you also need to make sure that it's cleaned. Check it against other references, like if you've got other weather stations on site, have a look at the data together and also look at the closest BOM site. That'll give you an understanding of whether you're generally in the right ballpark. The other thing that I would recommend to do is look at the data. If you look at a time series of the information, you can generally see if something's going wrong. So one thing we see is that if the solar panels aren't working, they quite often go to zero overnight. So make sure that if you look at a time series, you'll see that the data's just dropping out at night.
Catestone provides the Cattle Heat Load Toolbox, an internet-based service providing targeted forecasts of cattle heat load for feedlot sites in Australia. It provides a site-specific forecast for feedlot operators registered with the service.